I would like to first acknowledge the presence of our executive dean, Faculty of Arts, Dr. Ngugi, other staff members from the State University, as well as our guests, invited guests, stakeholders here present. Not saying much, I'm sure it's a great way for everyone here to celebrate a success in form of a book launch. It should be an inspiration, not only to me, but to all of us, and especially students.
Can we have the executive dean to give us his remarks?
Good morning, colleagues. Let me be more precise. Good morning, friends and readers. Yes. Okay, thank you for attending this humble books launch. We are launching a number of books today, 4 books, and these books touch various genres, let me say, of literature. Some of them are focusing on poetry, some are novels, some are dramas. So this launch is unprecedented in the history of our Shawani campus. This is the first time we are witnessing the launch of books by one of our students. And let me define the writer. So Justin is a student in the Department of History, but instead of focusing on the archives or going to the archives or writing about the past, he's also into creative writing. So he's a person who cannot be neatly pigeonholed. He's versatile, he's a writer, he's a poet, and also he's a performing artist. And this is quite important. Now, we also need to understand why people write. There are a number of reasons why people write. Number one is to discover who you are. By its very nature, writing is introspective. Writing is a thoughtful activity, and also the process of writing a book will force you to turn your thoughts inwards. Through writing, you will gain perspective about what really matters to you. Writing a book will also teach you about the unique value of your own willpower. The simple act of writing or committing to writing a project and seeing it through will measure the depths of your discipline. Writing a book can be a powerful way to get in touch with your thoughts, values, motivations, and also some say writing is cheaper therapy. If you want to heal yourself, if you are stressed out, write it out. Then also, I think writing is one way of leaving a legacy. My colleagues in the English department, whenever they critique literature, when they critique texts, when they critique a particular author, I think they do not use the past tense. They always say Shakespeare says, or Shakespeare is wrong. They use the present tense as if Shakespeare is still alive. So one way of making sure that you live in perpetuity, you live a legacy, is to write. So through these books, let me say Justin will live forever. If you also write, you become smarter. Writing a book requires research. No matter what topic you are writing about, you are going to have to research new concepts and new topics. So even if you are into creative writing, at times you have to research. For example, if you are to write or to recreate a scene about the 1960s, at times you have to go to the archives, read contemporary texts, contemporary magazines. For example, you could write a scene about beauty, about fashion in the 1960s. Obviously, you have to go back to the archives, you have to read prevailing literature, understand prevailing music, so that you are as realistic as possible, or your writing is in sync with prevailing norms about or relating to the scene you are trying to recreate. So writing requires research. So these works are products of, should I say, hard labor. So by opening the door to new ideas, you also educate yourself on a broad array of ideas. You'll be invigorated by how much you learn while you are writing and emerge much brighter for having done so. And when you are done, you can assert yourself as an expert in your field. And also your book can then open the door for speaking engagements, conference presentations, and other professional networking opportunities. So writing is very important. Now, let me also comment a bit about the publishing world at this juncture in the history of our nation or our country. There's a limited, let me say, consumption of literature in our texts. A few, let me say, 1.5 years ago, I had a conversation with Miss Irene Stone, the publisher at Weaver Press, who said that these days they are no longer publishing creative works because people are not buying books. How many of us have bought books, let's say in the past 3 months? Okay, let's buy books. So in order to promote the consumption of literature and also the buying of books, I'm committing $20. I'm going to buy books to the tune of $20. So I hope all the books that are here are going to be, should I say, bought out, are going to be purchased. And I know my good friend Mr. Dylan Twilo is also going to buy books for at least $10. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to buy books for $10. So let's buy books. Let's promote a culture of reading. And also, just as a matter of auto-criticism, self-criticism, criticizing ourselves as an institution. In our institution, we don't have a bookshop. If you go to other institutions, other universities in the Western world or in South Africa, when you have engaged, say, whoever whom you want to meet, say prospective supervisors or friends or peers, the next place where you go to is the university bookshop, where you find texts or books by various authors and also texts and books by authors based in that particular institution. Authors, that is our students and faculty and lecturers, we should have the same. And I think soon we'll do that so that we promote a culture of reading. But maybe the reason why we don't have a culture of reading is that you can also look at our political economy. Maybe things have been so slightly difficult over the past 10 or so years. It's like that buying books has become a luxury. But in as much as you consume food, you also need to consume knowledge. So let's buy books, let's promote the publications that have just been, that we are launching today. So lastly, let me share a secret with you. So the secret is Justice is a hard worker, he is bold, resilient, and most of all, he is a dreamer who imagines new ways of viewing and inhabiting this world. So let me say to him, keep up the good work, and also to all of you who enjoy music, let me say, savor the poetry and bask in the glory of this book launch. So enjoy your day and let me say have a good time. Thank you.
Justice. I don't know what I should say, but we are very much proud of what you've accomplished. As students, we are very, very, very much proud of what you've accomplished. Bonya, Spa, Dawi, Ojo, Dao, Mako, Dautun, Kato Makulota, Isilo Safira. Ukukanda ukake zonke izikokoto ezibalikhula ukukala ezinqawa ziqhubisa engqwekela phambili isusuna isiqoqela sokuze linqobe liphiwe umqhele wabaqeqeshileyo njengoJustice.
There is nothing as amazing
as having your peers supporting you. There is nothing as amazing as creating art that everyone supports.
We have our acting campus director to give the campus director remarks. Dr. Marechera.
Okay, let's take our seats. Okay, so morning, friends. We are gathered here to celebrate success. The books that we are launching today, I hope, are going to trigger a creative writing fermentation within our institution or within our Shawnee community. You know, there's this perception that we are living in the back of beyond. There's nothing that comes out of Shawnee. So we hope these books are going to trigger or incite many of you to write. Now, as an institution, as MSU, that's what we want. And now, as an individual, I was just reflecting on what inspires people to write, or why do people write? And I think this is very important for us as individuals, as prospective writers. Now, among these reasons, we find that people at times write out of commitment, out of a desire to see change, out of a desire to critique the prevailing scenario. Then at times, they also write because they are enabling platforms or infrastructures that allow them to express themselves. And this reminds me of what happens in the United States in the 1920s, 1930s, for those who are well versed with literature and history, you know, of the Harlem Renaissance, a desire to revive, let me say, the black community, whereby some leading African American activists thought that blacks were marginalized, blacks were despised, blacks had to show that the intellect and the creative capacity, so they came up with the idea of a Harlem Renaissance, whereby they sought to promote the so-called talented five. And through this Harlem Renaissance, there was this motivation for blacks to express themselves through the arts, through books, through writing, through music. And it is courtesy of the Harlem Renaissance that we saw the emergence of leading poets such as Langston Hughes, in jazz. That's where that resulted in the emergence of singers, classical singers like Duke Ellington and many others, and also major writers, sociologists, historians, your Du Bois, and many others. So at times we do need the right infrastructure, the right environment for us to write. Then at times the environment can also be just stimulating. Here, after the attainment of independence, after our liberation struggle, there was so much writing about the liberation struggle. So many writers did emerge, critiquing, reflecting on the liberation struggle. So the environment should be promoted, should be enabling, and also people should be inspired enough to write. But there are also instances whereby people write when the environment is not so stimulating, it's not so inspiring. But that is also essential, because at times writing is formed by anger, by the desire to correct, to review, or to critique society so that things do improve. So in this vein, I'm a bit curious on why Justin decided to write these books. What inspired you? Why did you decide to write? What is your political commitment? By political commitment, I'm not referring to politics as we understand it in the everyday. I'm just referring to commitments. Your commitment is your politics. So even if you are interested in children's rights, gender equality, that's your politics. So I'm interested on why you decided to write. What's your commitment? So I'm now preempting my question to you when we ultimately get into the question and answer session. So friends, as an institution, we promote the arts, we promote writing, we promote cultural expression, and let me also take this opportunity to indicate that, or to announce that next Friday we are going to have the Cultural Diversity Carnival here. It's literally a carnival. So please do attend. We are going to have the carnival here just outside this open space. So we are going to showcase various forms of performances, ranging from poetry, drama, the spoken words, etc., etc. And also the performers will be coming from different parts of the country. We are a diverse and international community. We have students from Sudan, Namibia, and also from different parts of our own country. And we've already showed that. So please do come for the Cultural Carnival. Lastly, let me just say enjoy, relax, and comments when we get to the question and answer session. So enjoy this intellectual dance of the mind. Thank you.
None other than Mr. Mapinja, and with him is Mrs. Mapinja. I invite you to say
Good morning, everyone. I'm here about the profile, Mr. Ase. We are here, gathered here, because of this son of ours, Justice Sibanda. Will you stand up, my son? When I was at school, I only knew the others from Nigeria, the likes of Chinua Achebe. Look, this complexion. Okay. Good morning, the campus director. I understand Mr. Professor Viriri is not here with us today. In present for him is Dr. Mashinga Idze, the registrar, Mr. Shah, the executive deans, the distinguished guests, lecturers, and not forgetting students. All protocol observed. I am delighted to join you here today to mark the launch of Justice Sibanda's books. Not just a book, books. That's a great achievement. Voices from the graveyard. Voices from the graveyard. This one is hard one now. Mental circumcision. The bright side of the darkness. And the Patricia, the highest mountain. I see so many people in the room that have made significant contribution in our country. Over the years as politicians, academics, pastors, farmers, business persons, among others. I have known Justice Sibanda for a long time through tough circumstances of life. He was separated from his parents when he was still an infant. This one is a sad one, 14 months old. Fortunately, his grandmother was around and he raised him up on dried okra and taught him good morals that shaped him to an author we are here to celebrate today. His resilience is amazing. Once dropped out of school when he was in Form 2 to become a board partner. Nevertheless, he did not take it as a conclusion to his life, but he made it back to school. It's very rare to get a lot of money today, tomorrow you are back at school. his university journey was not easy, but his vision helped him persevere. I'm talking about Justice Sibanda. Bearing in mind that most young people have made their lives in sign writing or notice boards of African history, my task this morning is to assist. My task this morning is to assist in the launching of books and an event where we celebrate the talent, achievements, and the sacrifice of the young. Therefore, I'm here to usher all of you here present in rewarding our students who sacrificed his time, energy, and talent in producing a philosophical piece that will immortalize him. Justice Sibanda, you are the great one. Hope all of you enjoy the read. I thank you.
Let us walk hand in hand, for Haiti can be more beautiful. Let us put our hearts together for Haiti in the name of all the ancestors. For Haiti and for the ancestors, we must be able, violent men. Men are not born to save other men. That is why all mothers and all fathers must send their child to school. Must they learn, must they know what Tristan, Waller, Christopher, others did to take items under white people's boots. I'll have Mr. Chair tell us about his journey with justice and wait for them. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. I'm honored to be here to testify and to be part and parcel of the celebrations with regards to this piece of work that Justice Sibanda has done. Maybe let me just say Justice Sibanda is my brother from another mother. We met here and we started to engage each other professionally, as a student, as a staff member, and we started to work together. So Justice Sibanda approached me to be his manager so that we would push the work that you see here. So we've been working together for quite a long time. When others were on vacation, Justice was here. We tried as much as we could to make sure that these books condense into substance, or these words condense into substance. Let me say it was not an individual work, it was a collective effort from one of us who is gathered in here, because he was engaging each and every person in terms of their views, in terms of their criticism, in terms of their constructive criticism in regards to this kind of work. So I'm well honored to be part of the team that worked for the production of these books, and I want to thank Justice for his overwhelming hard work and determination. It was not easy. It was never easy financially. Some of you know his background, and working against all odds, he managed to produce these books. So I want to thank you once again for being very supportive to make this work become successful. Let me give you a word of advice for all of us here that we need to develop a culture of reading. We are moving in the wrong direction of innovation if we cannot read, if we cannot research, if we don't own a book, just a novel, just a book. Develop a culture of reading. Read and get to know what is happening. This is a work of art. This work can express their views. It's just like a movie. It's just like a play. This is where you get the characters. Use your imagination to see the movies that are in those books. One man said, a man who cannot read is not better than a person who does not read. So if you cannot read, You are just like a 94-year-old granny who is down in Merengwa there. Because she cannot read. So you are not better than that woman. You need to develop a tendency of reading. So as a manager and as one of the people that are working hand in hand with this young man, Justice Sibanda, I'm honored, and I also want to acknowledge the support that Mr. Shumba was giving day and night, trying to make sure that in terms of grammar, in terms of expression, in terms of spellings and everything was on point. It might not be the best piece of art, because every time when you start something, you have got some shortcomings here and there. So bear with us, or bear with the author in terms of that. It's a way of developing, you learn as you go. And I'm sure, and I'm well convinced that the next launch or the next product is going to be far, far much better than this one, because experience is the ultimate measure to success. I want to thank you, and I want to thank Dr. Marechera for being so supportive to this young man. He has been coming in and out from my office and saying, Dr. Marechera said, let's do it this way. And I am well convinced and I am well honored to be part and parcel of your team. And everyone else who's here, we thank you so much for your support. We know we are very busy, but you took your time to come here and support Justice Sibanda. Thank you so much.
Yes, I'm reading a piece from The Bright Side of Darkness, Justice Sibanda. Page 7, turn 3. Dear, I never told you that I went through such a predicament. I've never told it to anyone except part of what I told your uncles yesterday. I recall a day in 1987 when I had to go to the fields early in the morning before attending my lessons. Auntie, are you saying first met the dog on the field before going to school? Asked Pauline. Yes, dear. Everyone I was allocated 10 bags of sweet cabbage, so I had to water mine before going to school, she replied. You watered with a hosepipe or sprinklers? Asked Katusha. What? Wonders Habile. And she went on to say, we use canes as buckets. But I think it is not advised to do so because it affects school-going children. Don't be tired, says Pauline. It depends on the devotion of the student. Now I'm adopted, and I was the best student. I collected prizes every end of the term, despite living a rough life, she said. I think it helped you, Auntie, because if you might have lived a luxurious life, you might not have been devoted to your schoolwork. So you worked to redesign your own life, says Katusha. You are correct, dear. Devotion was sweltering within my spirit because I wanted to prove something. Proving something? What did you want to prove, Auntie? Asked Pauline. My condition is not my conclusion, she replied. As I sat on my sofa, I decided not to join their conversation, but it got interesting. Then I began to tell them the story of my life. That was almost similar to Utebo, but the difference is that she was abused by people whom she wasn't related to. But I felt the wrath of my parents' responsibility. Pauline, I also lived a life that was similar to your aunt's. How? You were not an orphan like your uncle? She asked. My parents were present, but they were not responsible. I and your father were the eldest boys. In the farming season, especially from November to January, we entered the fields before going to school. My father woke up around 3 a.m. I would take hold of the ox-drawn plow.
Your father was in front of the span, and my sister Phyllis was sewing. Where were you, Grandpa and Gogo? Asked Katusha. They would be sleeping, I replied. Laughing, Pauline said, Uncle, it's unbelievable. I said to her, yes, it is. What has actually happened? The unfortunate part was that our parents could not afford to buy us shoes. We worked barefooted under the cover of darkness, and you could not see where you were stepping. Or maybe the food had no thorns, so there was no fear, said the bear. If you want to know more about what happened, buy The Bright Side of Darkness by Justice Sibanda. At this moment in time, I'll call the author, the man of the moment, he that made this happen, he that has made us a team, the writer of The Bright Side of Darkness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Greetings to you all. Yes. I wasn't expecting this ocean of people that is flat this room. Just on what Nancy said. Okay, I began writing when I was in Form 2. In fact, when I was a school dropout, a school leaver, that's where I wrote my first very novel, Head to Tuzolina, but I don't know how it disappeared. Then from Form 2 to Form 6, I was a writer, because that inferiority complex that I couldn't associate with other students. So I was always alone. It's either I would be reading or I would be writing. So that's why I did a lot of writing. And that time I wrote a good novel. I unpublished it. It's titled Twins Who Did Not Know Each Other. That's where I was writing about the appreciation of Marechera, comparing him with Peter Tosh. That these guys were similar, but they did not know each other. So they were twins who did not know each other. That time also I wrote also another novel, Vegetarian Vampires. It's unpublished. And the other one that I wrote is titled Lost in the Middle of Nowhere. I was trying to write about the experiences that the Zimbabwean diasporas are facing in South Africa, UK, and the USA. But those are still manuscripts not published yet. And I wrote much of Christian literature, and I took it to MSU Press, to Mambo Press, they declined it. So that's what I did. Then when I was on attachment, I did my attachment as a teacher. I was teaching at the New Horizons College. That's where I said, now I want to do the so-called command writing. Yeah, because I was teaching students from 2, 5, and 6. So I had much time to do my writing, because I was always here in campus. After dismissal there, I would come in campus, just watch the rest of the lab, watch some highlights, Liverpool highlights, and stuff like that. So that's what I did. So, of course, you would like to know what inspired you. Okay, we'll come to that. So that's what I did. But I was a lone ranger when I was writing back then. So that's what caused a little success. But when I was in 4-1, there's a guy called Alison. I think most of you know him. He introduced me to my manager. I'm here to like Alison, Mr. Chair. do that, and the likes of my friends, Tumelo, who was in front during the publication process, the likes of Lillian, Christian, Leslie, and others, they were running around. Okay, so that's what I did. Okay? Now, I will tell you more when we come to the question and answer. Alright. So before I go to question and answer, I would like us to give just a brief abstract of those, okay? The first one there is titled Voices from the Graveyard, okay? It's a political fiction. All characters are skeletons. It happens in a country called Haiti, okay? I got an inspiration about this book when we were doing that module. It's called Caribbean. Whatever. It's called Latin America and the Caribbean, right? That's why I first the question that I was saying, why is Haiti so poor? Okay, so that's why I got some inspiration to write this. And other inspiration to write this, I got it from, you know what, those rhetorics, political rhetorics, people will be saying, we died for this country, we died for this Africa, you know, but when they are still alive. So I just question myself. So I question myself, what would the dead say if they were alive today in Africa? What would people like Samora Machel, Thomas Sankara, and those great people, you know them, what would they say if they see things like xenophobia happening in Africa? What would they say? So that's why I got inspiration. But now writing about it being the voices from the graveyard, I think the other inspiration came from the fact that when I'm at home in Slovenia, I don't know what happens. My phone doesn't do network when I'm at home. It only does it when I'm in the cemetery. But in terms of WhatsApp, I can only do WhatsApp when I'm near my father's tomb. So that's what I was like, oh, if this man was still alive today, what would they say to me? So that's why I wrote about this. So I wrote this in 13 days. Right there. I wrote this one in 13 days. It's about skeletons who happen to be so-called war veterans of Haiti. They were discussing the political economy. I think you should, but we don't have time to get some few paragraphs from it, just a bit. Just one paragraph. One paragraph. I wasn't. Yeah, that's how the guy Christophe wakes up, disturbed by the mosquitoes. That's why he splits open his house, which in this context is his grave. He goes around to hunt for his brothers, wakes them up, they do political meetings and political rallies discussing political economy. That's how. Then particularly Ice Mountain, of course, I was inspired by my longing for Rosemary when we were at high school, but I couldn't tell it. So alright. Then the next one, The Bright Side of Darkness, is a collection of short stories, 6 short stories. The other one, Major Circumcision, the 104 poems. Alright. That's it. Okay, so 3 people ask questions, I write them down, and I answer them.
How do you get to where do you get your ideas?
First of all, I'd like to give him an acronym for his writing. I would call him Undertaker Writing because I like to write in times. Then I'll ask my question, why did you write? Why are you writing? Why did you choose to write?
What guest of water said. He said he grew up, he was exposed to many writers. What makes you think you'll be relevant?
Did you ever date or not and want to find out with him?
Yes.
think I wanted to ask a similar question, but I wanted to want to say, how far did you go with obtaining that love of your life that you gave in high school? Because, okay, I'll give you
I have one last question. Is she in? Please write it down.
Alright, mean to say that there are some things that I would like to correct or to address or to document, but I can do them through pen and paper. If I say a wrong or something extraordinary, then I have to document it. That's how I get my ideas. Okay, so I think this also answers the question, why are you a writer? I think that question is already answered. Alright, what makes you think you'd be relevant? Alright, what makes me think that I'm relevant is because I am writing about real things, real problems that we are facing, that everyone is facing, that the problems I am facing, the problem that the whole of Africa is facing. So that thing alone makes me think I am relevant because I'm a contemporary writer writing about the contemporary things. Okay, now say, did you have a girl? Alright? Currently, a girlfriend is a luxury that I can't afford. Then the second question, how did you obtain your love? No, it just vanished against her. Is she, okay, she's not here, she's doing 2-2 at the Chinoi University of Technology. On that one, she's a student here. But unfortunately, she was supposed to be here, but something happened. She's in grade 2. Starting, yes. Yeah, on that.
One last and final question.
Since you are a writer, what makes you to be so focused in your work?
How does he balance being a student and all the modules that he does in school and write at the same time?
Okay. Given the tough history that you lived and from what the guest of honor said, what fueled your perseverance to become what you are now?
Which other African writers inspire you and why?
Okay, can I have you?
Okay, what I want to ask is, being a writer, how does he overcome those challenges? Like when you're in the process of writing a story, and then you are like stuck or suffocating, trying to find the right words or the right way to go about your story. How do you overcome writers?
I want to ask if the living people or the leaders of today can also get a feel or hear those voices. Did you include that in your text, or is just the voices from the graveyard they are speaking to themselves there? Or us as people, living people, we also get a feel, and how do those voices from the graveyard inspire us or shape modern day political issues?
Okay, my question was almost related to his question. Does your work contain any connotative meaning? Does your work have a deeper meaning that you can take to a school literature student or here to English literature students so that they can analyze and come up with a different meanings to your work?
Okay, this question says, what makes you focus on this genre of writing? What makes me focus in this thing is because I believe that I'll get a living out of it. How are you balancing the schoolwork and this creative writing? I think it's just inborn that I can handle pressure, I can work under pressure. That's what I can say. I don't feel any pain about it. Who inspired you? Right. What gives you the perseverance? Okay, we say, what gave you the perseverance? Okay, the things that when you grow up in a family or in a life where you're just eating salsa with mashans and lori. She was proud to perform to the Q-Tex. No. You like to change your life through writing. You see, that's what gave me perseverance. If you are looking at musicians, they want to interpret or to comfort themselves through singing. So writing gives me perseverance that when I write this thing, I cannot reflect on it and I say, because I can play a character and live a luxurious life from a poor life or from a painful life, then I can feel that I'm okay now. It's accomplished. You asked who inspired you in African writing. Okay, the thing is that I began writing when I read just a few novels. Because by the time I wrote my first novel, I read only 4 novels, 2 Ndebele, 2 English, Takadini, Post-Sage. Those were English novels that I read by then. Then Ndebele I read the feeling, Post-Sage, Zero Parallel, only those 4 novels. But what gave me a deeper, of course, those movies that I wrote when I was at high school, I was inspired by George Orwell, waThiongo, at the Animal Farm, The Lion Jewel, Shakespeare, of course, Magic of Venice. But this one, I was inspired by the ever-living legend, that was Marechera. Yes. I called myself the second coming of Marechera, but I realized that I was Alright, you said, how do you compile the words? Alright, the first thing that, for example, I was at this quarrel with somebody who was very educated. That person, I told him that I want to write, I want to get published. He said, your publishing part is not recognized, it's so. So, when you see such things, that's why you have to form a sentence that what depicts that thing or the feeling that you have. So that's why I have some sentences like, in that bright side of darkness, as I pace forward, my rubber throat boots stamp the ground, producing a solo drum beat with no lyrics to entertain a youth vomited by an arrogant society of jobless academics. So those are the things that what inspire me. For example, when I see things like, let me say it because I can offend somebody.
The artist critic just say.
Alright, and there is a sentence that is, I distance myself from democracy because of its strong association with democracy, whereby some people allow libido to override their senses. You say, how does it appeal to modern politics? Alright, I think that it was with the graveyard. The thing that I wrote about Haiti, but myself I've never been to Haiti, that's the first thing. I've never been anywhere beyond the borders of Zimbabwe. Alright. So the thing is that whatever thing that I saw here in Zimbabwe, I had to write it in a way that is what a little bit fiction. You know. But I won't say it, you read it. Alright. Then it appeals to modern politics. Very relevant. Does work here family? Alright? Yeah, I think my work, especially poetry, it is family. I have a poem there titled My Thirst Dried Oceans. Those are some of those poems picked by Ngugi and others. They have what a determined rather than the literal one, actually.
And book reading is book reading. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge. Fools despise wisdom and instruction. Verse 8. Hear my son, your father's instruction and rejection. Hear my son, your father's instruction and reject not your mother's teaching. I'm talking to my son, Justice. But I want to say to you all, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. I'm happy. Kukuona, like someone is launching his book and you are here to support. It's a good thing. Buku ranyoma buku atawinganira nasa. Unotoona kuti it's not about kuti wakaenda ku South Africa kana kuti wakambokwira bhazi kana kuti wakamboitawo nerera kuti ugogona kunyora bhuku. It's just about having a vision and keeping it. Saka toda kutenga mabhuku aya nemutengo wepamusoro-soro. Ndakutenga nemari.
I'll buy that copy for $50.
But not this guy. I'll buy it for 70.
Baba for 70. Ndiani mwaruda kutenga. Voices from the graveyard. Rava for $100. Ndiani mwaruda kutenga.
Pamusana pekuti ndakambonyora bhuku ndikatadza kusvika pawasvika. Pamusana pekuti ndakambonyora bhuku ndikatadza kusvika pawasvika. Ndakanyora bhuku ndaifanira kunyora zvinhu zviri rural tichiexpressa nyaya dzemumusha, but ndakatadza kudii Nai. Handisi kutenga one. Tatenga a set. My son, I'm supporting you.
Yes.
I like supporting people like Justice for your own information. If you happen to have a function at your age, not older than what you are. Please invite me. Justice, I'm buying this set of books as a company. And sindika ndichanoverenga mabhuku aya. Ndichada kuti vanhu vekubasawo futi nevatakandiploya vaverengi vakuzive. From the humble beginnings, I support you. I'm not going to buy for Ishe Anopa Investments. Ishe Anopa Investments that specializes in hardware, clothing, and furniture. We are going to buy this set of books not for $100, not for $200. Not for how much, my love? Not for $300. Not for $400.
chiringe sajisi yatoka ka ufunge sajisi yatoka ka ufunge choro wangoma wekwenu watamba ongole choro wangoma wekwenu watamba ongole ingoma yeZimbabwe painodira ongole ingoma yekwedu inodira ongole choro wangoma wekwenu watamba ongole.
We are very happy. We know the opposition is to recognize the Thank you so much. Never to recognize our. There's someone I'm to inspire. I'm about $500. Yeah, this is you.
I'll buy one of them for 50.
The bright side of darkness, right at $50. Page saka mabhuku achiripo handiti ndoda kuudza umwe munhu ngauda kutokonya munhu kuti ukaita zvinhu zvako nemweya wakanaka unosvika pasvika mukomana uyu nokuti zvisa zvakanaka. Let's all have mweya wakanaka and supporting. Giving someone doesn't mean kuti une zvakawanda handitika, but giving is just a sign yekungoti you have conquered from greed. And you will be saying, for whatever kuda kungosapota you have had kuti akasiwa navabereki vake when he was just 14 months anditi akachiri mucheche asati anotogoziva. Saka inini pandakaudzwa when we were invited takanyatsokunzwa kuti we are now going to be the parents of Justin from the second one. Justice pane zvinhu tu kuzvidzwira tsitsi nekuva munhu akangova munhu wenhanto is your choice. Ndinowanzotaura kuti there is nothing bad about being born poor, but there is something very wrong about dying poor. $60.
Choro wango